Yeah. LVG, YSL, no just was bragging, yeah. Told my story, got it cleared by your daddy, yeah.
LVG, YSL, what's happening in? Richard Mill, all this shit, what's happening in? Louis Vuitton, bandana, but what's happening in? D4L, starter man, say what's happening in?
Going home, you know they shake. What's happening? Go inside, you better bag in.
Oh, my right wrist a Ferrari. For a breed American, she call me Pappy. Room, Hellcat, give it to the goons. On that Earl Mountain Grove, shooting it out the spoon. Seen a prom queen, smoke crap when I was little. $1 million can, like I sell drugs. Gave my the 100 racks, stock was sealed up. Stock was sealed up.
LVG, YSL, no just was bragging, yeah. Told my story, got it cleared by your daddy, yeah.
FBG, OVO, what's happening? Richard Mill, oh yeah, what's happening? YSL bandana, man, what's happening? D4L stunner, man, what's happening?
What's going on, everyone? How y'all doing today? Welcome to the CarolinaCast podcast. I'm Chris Verma alongside East Carolina Pirates wide receiver Chase Sowell. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Appreciate you for having me on here. Just trying to get my name out there, and I appreciate you. So,
yeah, man. Yes, sir. Of course. You're helping me out too, man. I really appreciate you coming on here, man. So, if y'all don't know Chase that well, he's been around a couple of years now. He had his true freshman year with the Pirates last season. He had almost 50 receptions, 600 receiving yards, and an awesome touchdown snag against UTSA. I saw that live, man. And he's here today, year two, man, just trying to get this thing going again. We're excited to have you on here, run the rodeo back once again here with the Pirates. So I got to ask you right off the bat, man, just how has the offseason been working for you? You were kind of telling me earlier how you've met new players, new coaches, and just trying to get ready. I know there's a new offensive coordinator in town. Just getting used to all the systems, everything. How's workouts been? And just tell us a little bit about how it's been ever since the season basically ended.
Yeah. So, it's been a complete turnaround for us. So, last year, things didn't go how we wanted it to. We were struggling offensively. Defensively, we were having an outstanding year. We had JDB come in from Ole Miss. Met him when he first got there. We had a great connection off rip. Just talking about things that we had envisioned for the next season and things that we were going to accomplish in the spring, just to work towards those goals. And it's been great. Along with the new guys, like I was talking about earlier, Caden Hauser, Anthony Smith, Winston Wright, and then we have returning players as well that are coming back, like Keelan Robinson, Kerry King, Jari Patterson, Brock Spalding. So those are guys that I would say to look out for this year, because with the new offense, as you can tell, like, we're going to be fast tempo, and it's going to be exciting to watch. So you're going to have a lot of different guys, a lot of different things out there to look out for. And I'm just excited. So.
Right. Which is right. In general, I've seen some stuff's going on with, transferring in and out, and at least the recruiting room. I know the team's getting better. I love what Coach Houston has really put in, at least from what I've seen from some of the off-season videos and everything. Seems like you guys not only are getting more confident, getting more work, and you guys seem like you're having fun out there. I've seen your mic up videos and everything. You guys look like you're really enjoying your time together, which I think is very important, because it's not just having like the on-field chemistry, it's also having the off-field chemistry. And it's good to see that you guys are starting to build that.
Definitely. I would say initially coming in my first time last May, when I came in the summer, it just automatically felt like a family, having guys like Big Tay, Deontay Johnson, Surad Ware, things like that, or even guys on the defense like Siobhan Revel, things like that. Just guys always are welcoming people in, and we always have a good time. We're always joking. Guys get in the locker room. It could be 6 o'clock in the morning. Guys are laughing, joking, playing around. So, it's a great environment to get your work in at the same time and have fun. So.
Well, that's good, man. That's good. At least now that you find home here at EC, I'm happy that the university is really giving you that spot. So going back to your year one from last year, because I know overall, like you were saying, defense was amazing. Offense, you guys had chances, but you feel like you can capitalize a lot more this season. So going back to last year, what's something that you learned playing for ECU last year that you feel like you're going to utilize a lot this season?
So the biggest thing I would say, it's simple, just taking advantage of the opportunities you have. Like, there would be last year, we would have 3-point, 7-point games where we would have drives to capitalize and score because our defense got us the ball back, but we just came up and had no points. So those are things that I just learned, like, different from college and high school. In high school, you can get away with a lot more things. In college, you have to take advantage of every opportunity. So just capitalizing in the red zone, doing the basic things, doing the routine things, and just making it all about us.
Right. I agree, man. So at least for last year, so you had 2 games with over 100 receiving yards. I know I've seen you. I know you're capable of balling out for the team and helping us out on offense. But I get what you mean, man. We just need everyone to come together as a team, and that makes to the wins and whatnot. Because you guys, you're right. You guys had a lot of close games last year, at least from what I look like. That Tulane game was pretty close. There's Tulsa games. There's a bunch of games that they're pretty close in. I feel like going off of experience, there's definitely that chance to kind of capitalize off that moment a little bit more. Understand, take what you did from last year. So yeah, that's nice. That's cool, man. So going off of that, I know you started your career at Colorado as your true freshman year. So just to go out of the transfer portal, kind of find a new home, you selected ECU. Was it just right off the bat you knew you were coming to Greenville, or like what made you choose ECU rather than all these other schools?
So I talked to Coach Roberts, Darrell Roberts. He hit me up originally when I first entered the transfer portal. We just started talking back and forth, and I was talking to a lot of other coaches and stuff like that. So I was kind of just taking it all in, didn't really know where I was gonna go on visits or who I was thinking about going to or anything like that. So I talked to my parents, and I set up a visit to Kent State before ECU, and I didn't have ECU on my list to visit. So originally I was gonna hit Kent State and then go to BYU, and then I was gonna go to Purdue, and those are gonna be my three schools, and make a decision out of those 3 schools. And so the closer we got to the end of the semester, when it was time for me to leave and take all my stuff and go back home, me and my dad talked about East Carolina because he had been talking to Coach Darrell Roberts. And so he changed my mind actually about going to Kent State, and we took away that visit and went to East Carolina and came here. So I came here first. I flew straight from Colorado. We got a hotel in Colorado, stayed there. Flew straight from Denver to East Carolina. And just when I got here, it was just amazing, just the weather. It felt like home because it's like the South, hot weather, great atmosphere, college town. You got everybody here, they're Pirate fans, so it's like, where else would you want to be? And then just the people, like, just when I would go around, people would be nice. They would talk to you, ask how you were doing, and it was just an environment that I wanted to be in. And the thing that did it for me was just how open everybody was in the staff, just talking to the coaches, I could talk to them about just my past and what I was going through and where I am now because of what I've been through and just things like that. So I felt like I could go to any of them and that it was just a complete family. So those were things that I looked for and that just outweighed every other school to me. So
Pirate Nation brings the heat, man. I know that for sure. That stadium on Saturday, it's
Pirate Nation.
Yeah, they bring it. They try to bring it every Saturday at least.
Every time.
I think we got the best fan base out there, man. Most passionate, at least. We love y'all guys. We appreciate y'all so much. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. But I gotta say, for you going all the way from, I know you're from Texas, but going all the way from Colorado, Greenville, and then just finding that love straight off from it, that's kind of awesome, man.
Yeah, it was definitely unexpected. I would say that because when I was originally going there, I barely heard anything about East Carolina. Like, I play with them on NCAA. That's about it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I heard about Chris Johnson, Zay Jones, but other than that, I never really thought about coming here. So when I came here, it was just unexpected. Like maybe this is where I belong, and God sent me here for a reason. So I just took the opportunity, and ever since I've loved it and loved everybody here and loved Pirate Nation and just been grateful for the opportunity and blessed. So.
No, I feel you, man. And going off of the EA Sports game, you're telling me you're officially in the game, is finally coming back after a near decade. So if you could just take me through your process of getting into the game, what are you excited for? What do you know about it? But like in general, like how did you get yourself in the game? You just take me through like the athletic player process into it. I'm kind of curious about that.
Yeah. So it starts off with us having a meeting. So we have to meet with compliance because you have to go through a certain like waiver and different paperwork to get information in there. So basically they have to they make you buy an app. We buy an app and we have to sign in and everything. And there's like a little, I would say like a little, I don't know, something you click on and it's like the EA 25, like college football game. And you click on it and you put in all your stuff, put all your information in, and basically they just have to verify that it's you. Just verifying that you are who you say you are, and you have to put in like your like bank information and stuff, just so you can get your consumption from the money you're making off your name and stuff like that. So those are just things like, I mean, it wasn't hard. It took about like 10, 15 minutes, but yeah, that's how we got in the game. So, I mean, most exciting thing for me is just it being back, and then being part of it. So I remember watching RG3 win the Heisman and playing with him on the game, and now he's a broadcaster that doesn't even play anymore. So, I mean, it's just crazy how time changes and how fast like life goes by, and it's just crazy. So.
Nah, man, that is awesome. That you guys have played this game like 10 years ago. Unfortunately for me, I was like a toddler when the game went away, so I didn't really get a chance to it. So that's why I'm really like taking in the moment now for the game. But, that's awesome, man. That we finally get this game back. It wasn't. I guess you're saying it wasn't a ton of work to kind of get in the game. It's just they have a bunch of people that got to get into it too.
Yeah.
No, I feel you. That's awesome, man. I'm excited for that game. Definitely got to. I'm playing with the Pirates. First thing I already told my friends, I get that game. I'm playing straight at Dowdy. I need the environment, everything, man. I'm going straight. To the game, man.
I told my friends we're all saying the same thing. Like everybody here has been saying they're playing with ECU first, just to play with us. So, I mean, that's the most exciting thing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you got to play with the Pirates first. Because that environment, everything, especially they're saying they got all the features like at the beginning.
Yeah.
Pirate. Man, that's
Dowdy Ficklen's gonna look unreal on the game, probably just because all the fans and how filled up it'll probably be. So.
I mean, yeah. Speaking of Dowdy Ficklen being unreal, I think you guys' first game is August 31st against Norfolk State, if I believe right. So I gotta ask you. Every year, or at least last season, getting locked into the game. I've seen it on your story. You had like that one locked in image of you just trying to get in the game. So I got to ask you, do you have like a specific routine? I think that's the Rod Wave poster in your background. You got like specific music. How do you get locked in the game?
I love Rod Wave. I would say my routine for game days are usually so we have our power walk. You probably know what that is. We walk to the stadium and walk through the fans and walk to the locker room. So usually at that time when we're going on the bus, I usually put on some calm music to kind of calm my mind and calm my nerves and things like that, because obviously you're going to be anxious to play no matter who you're playing. And then usually when I go in the locker room, I take my time, just kind of taking in the moment, just being blessed to be here and just not taking the time for granted, because not everybody gets to do this and not everybody, gets to live this. So I just take in the moment. I'll probably go out there. I usually run to the 50. And I stop at the 50. I pray, run back to the end zone. I start stretching. I'll probably put on some more like drill music, kind of like upbeat, more like get me hype, get me more turned. And then yeah, from there I kind of just start getting myself ready for the game, getting my tape, getting my ankles taped, stuff like that, and I'm ready to go.
I mean, yeah, week 1, man, we're ready for it. It all starts
I'm
week
ready.
1. I know that.
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
We're ready for it. I know specifically you've been ready for it because I know how often you guys have been working, but just specifically in a week, can you take us through like practice or your personal workouts? Like how often do you do that in a week? And like what specifically? Is it like something different at like on Monday, for example? Do you have like one type of training or workout, or how does a week really look for you? Like a day?
So are you saying like a game week or like just a
Yeah,
regular?
we could do a game week, sure.
Okay. So for a game week, we usually have Monday off. So we usually do our Mondays off. We usually have scouting reports and academic check-in. So we usually meet with our position coaches, go over grades and stuff like that. Just checking to make sure people are good with their grades, staying eligible. And then after that, we get our scouting reports. They hand us our scouting reports on the defense, their tendencies, coverages, weakest players, strongest players, stuff like that. And then Tuesday are usually our work days. So like at Colorado, we used to call those like Bloody Tuesdays. And it would be like just our work day. So it would be like a 2-hour practice. We go through our stretch, maybe do a little bit individual, do some team. We'll go to like pass scale, which is like 7-on-7, do some one-on-ones, some perimeter blocking, some more team. It's a lot of competition, a lot of team competition on Tuesdays. And then we'll do like our scout team and stuff at the end. So we're like planning for who we're playing that week. Wednesday, we get into our it's like the same, but we have just shorts on and shoulder pads and helmet. It's a little lighter, but it's still a work day. Thursday is like our fast Friday, pretty much. We're going fast, doing 2-minute stuff, different scenarios, making sure our special teams are right, things like that. And then Friday, we just walk through. So we'll just do our walkthroughs and stuff like that, making sure everybody knows what they're doing, knows the script, have the call sheet, just things like that, making sure everybody's crisp on everything they're doing. And then Saturday before games, we'll probably go in there and we'll probably go over the plays again, just going over with our coaches, just making sure everything is right. Everybody knows what they're doing. And as far as like lifting throughout the week, usually during the game week, it's not as intense. It's more just to stay healthy. So make sure like we're keeping certain joints and certain ligaments strong. We're not doing like anything crazy, kind of like we're doing now, but it's a lot during the week. It's a lot during game. So during the season, it's a lot.
You got to stay locked in. I know that for sure.
You have to all the way through.
That's kind of crazy, man. A whole week, and then that's just one game week. So then you got
that's just one game, and then if we have like a bye week or something, we'll probably have practice every day, probably.
Wow.
I mean, because people probably think like bye weeks we probably just get off, but no, those are the worst weeks. Right. Like as a football player, if you're a football player, like you're not looking forward to bye week because that's the hardest week. You're either scripting for the next team that you play the next week, or y'all are just practicing just to practice. So, I mean, either way, every season we have like either whether it's winter, spring, fall, or summer, it's always work. So.
Well, now I gotta. Now I'm just curious. Going back in the grind to like your high school days, I gotta ask you, man. Do you have like like how much do you think you probably work a lot more now, physically, mentally, just staying prepared? But like even going back to high school, man, do you have like a couple of favorite moments or just things that you learned from your high school day that you take to college? You wanted to tell us?
Just adversity. Like adversity was the biggest thing in high school because, coming from a Texas high school football program, it's not one of those pushover programs where you kind of just get in and if you're good, you're good. And if you're not, you're not. It's kind of one of those things where you got talent all around you. So it's kind of like college. You have to work for your position every day. So we would go into like practices like it was a game. And you would be working. You might not feel like it, but you would have practice would pretty much be the same way it is now in college, but you would be doing more probably because they're less cautious about like your workload and things like that. So you're probably doing more in high school, and that's why I would think like I would say my personal high school experience was worse than my college experience as like workouts and stuff like that because it was it was rough in high school. It was rough.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way, but like at the same time, it kind of makes sense because I guess high school is where you really you like kind of take off in a way. That's where you start because you go high
Yeah,
school and it's a massive leap to college, and then the ultimate goal is the NFL. So I kind of see, I can see that at least in the physical work ethic of it,
yeah,
that makes sense. But that is still, I mean, I playing ball in Texas. That makes a lot of sense for you trying to compete with other guys out there. So going off of that, you had to really believe in yourself. I know in high school, especially if you're trying to be the best that you can be. So
yeah.
what do you think separates you from other receivers in college or just whatever position? I mean, what makes you feel different? Like, what do you think makes you a great football player?
I would say what separates me is I haven't been playing football as long as most guys. So I wanted to start playing early when I was little and do like tackle and stuff. And I got in tackle when I was in like fourth, fifth grade, but I never really took it serious. I kind of just was an athlete that just wanted to kind of just play every sport.
Right.
So closer to high school, I got to ninth grade and I was 5'6", 126, and I didn't want to play football anymore. I told my dad and my mom I wanted to quit, and I just wanted to focus on baseball, and I didn't want to do anything else. So it was one of those moments where I had to really like tell myself that I can do it and that maybe it will work out because my dad had instilled in me that you can just try it and be your best. Like just give your best because if you give your best and you know that you gave your best, then it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. So if I just thought that if I just kept doing it, that it would eventually get better. So my freshman year I was 5'6", 126, and then my sophomore year I got to I think like 6 foot, like 160.
Wow.
So I had like a crazy growth spurt between my freshman and my sophomore year, which definitely helped. But the main thing that helped me was just that talk with my dad and him telling me not to give up because I tried my freshman year and I had a great year. I played DB actually my freshman year.
Really?
Yeah, so I played DB my freshman year. I had like 6 or 7 interceptions. But I just had fun doing it. And then when I had that growth spurt, they moved me to the offensive side. I started playing a little bit of receiver. Got moved up to varsity my junior year or my sophomore year, but I didn't play. And then that my junior year is kind of when I decided like that I wanted to kind of start taking it for real and kind of start working towards college and trying to get scholarships and stuff like that because I realized that I really had a chance because I was seeing guys that were in front of me, but I knew that there were certain things that they weren't doing that I know I could do, and they
Right.
were getting into college. So those were certain things that helped me motivate myself. Just being a baseball guy all my life and being kind of the underdog when it comes to football. Not having offers, not being in the camps, not playing 7-on-7. Those that kind of just put a chip on my shoulder because I know I could play with those guys at those levels. So, and I mean, I still hold that chip on my shoulder because I feel like I'm still one of those guys that are overlooked or can play at a certain level or just can be a top 10 receiver in the country. But that's just how I always look at life. Like, I think I can be in the best at anything I do as long as I work my butt off and give everything I can. So.
Right. That's the best way to look at it. And so actually, you mentioned you were super big into baseball before you really got into football. Now I
Yeah,
gotta ask
first
you,
love.
like, yeah, so you're in love with baseball. So, man, what maybe what was the switch, but also like, what was your favorite part about playing baseball? How long did you play baseball, and did you play like any other sports going up?
So I played baseball since I was 4. My dad played at the University of Florida. He played there for a little bit or for a while actually. Um, And then he started giving lessons, being a coach. And so ever since I was 4, he's been actually giving me lessons and training me and stuff like that. So he was a baseball guy. So we were a baseball family.
Right.
And those things were kind of just instilled in me, the kind of love for the game and how much respect I have for the game, because it taught me so much more outside of baseball than inside of baseball, which I mean, like, failure, for example, like failure, you're gonna get maybe 1 hit out of 3 at bats, but that's a successful day in baseball. Like, people get paid millions and millions of dollars just to get 1 hit a day, and you might have 4 at bats. So those are things that kind of just helped me in life, like dealing with failure, knowing how to deal with failure, and that, you know, the next day you could come back and be 4 for 4, but the next day you could come back and be 0 for 4. So kind of just helped me stay down, be humble, you know, respect the game, respect your opponents, things like that. And then just the connections I've made. You know, I've met guys like CC Sabathia, Charlie Hayes, Ron Washington. Like, these are guys that I've met just through my dad and just through the sport. So, I mean, I appreciate that every day. Like Michael Bourne, he's one of my mentors. Yeah, so it's just one of those things that I just have a love for and always will.
Man,
and then
CC
sports, like,
dang, that's awesome.
yeah, CC Sabathia. So other sports I grew up playing. I mean, I played basketball like to middle school, like through middle school. I ran track a little bit in high school, but I never really played anything else for real.
Yeah, so that your love was baseball, football. What position did you play in baseball?
I played everything. So I probably caught my whole like childhood until I was like 13, 14. Pitched a little bit when I was little, you know, and then I got to that high school, and I was playing like outfield more and a little bit of infield. So I was going back and forth between the infield and outfield, but I mean, I could play anywhere they put me. So I just wanted to be on the field.
Yeah.
That's just how I looked at it.
Wow. Nice. Oh, there you so you're a full on guy on the baseball field, and then I saw you're saying you'd also play DB in football too a little bit. So
Yeah, but not like, I probably won't play DB now.
right. Of course.
Nah, you gotta be a different athlete. Like,
Yeah.
I got too much respect for DBs. I mean, that's the hardest position, and it's probably the hardest position in football besides quarterback. So,
I mean, yeah, they got to stay in contact, not only with if it's like man or a zone, but then you also got to know like everything else on the field. So yeah, that's probably true. I mean, you probably work completely different, at least when you play, to compare to how DBs got to practice and play as well. So
yeah, for real.
I mean, it's a completely different ball game out there. So
it is.
Yeah. Going with that. So you started your career Colorado, now ECU, now going into year 2, but way before that, like it could be a middle school or a high school. You're kind of talking about how your dad got you through to play football. Did you have like a certain like roadblock or like an issue, like while playing like a sport like this? It could be like anywhere throughout your sport, like athletic career, and you kind of struggled through it, but you found your way out of it and overcame it.
Yeah, so I would say, I mean, going through transferring at Colorado, just those things were, it was a big thing for me. It was a lot, you know, emotionally, mentally, physically for me. It was a lot. You know, Colorado was 15 hours away from where I live. So I didn't see my family every day. I'll probably see them maybe once every 6 months, once or twice every 6 months, something like that. So that was already one of the things that I was kind of missing, just being at home that first year and stuff like that. And then we had a coaching change with obviously, you know, Coach Prime and stuff like that. And I mean, I wasn't scared or nervous at first when he came in. The only thing I had an issue with was I had surgery right before he got there. I had surgery on my labrum and my shoulder, which I had tore it the 4th game of a UCLA game.
Oh, okay.
And so I had got hurt then, and I was just now recovering, getting back out of the sling, getting back into things, and it was just a lot for me because that was one of the first real injuries I had. for me to be able to, get through that by myself, because I didn't have a roommate in my dorm or anything like that. Owen McCown had already transferred to UTSA. So I didn't have a roommate to kind of help me take care of myself or anything like that. So I was doing everything on my own. So those are things that help me now, get through a hard workout or get through a hard life scenario or life point, because I think about those times when I didn't think I was gonna get through it or get away from it. So that was probably the biggest thing, just the whole transferring that whole spring, because it was just so much for me. Coming back from surgery and trying to make a name for myself at the same time, but trying to knock the rust off. So.
Right. Well, at least you found a home here at ECU, and it kind of worked out at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now you're talking about how weather and everything's really good in Greenville. So
Yeah.
with that being said, do you have like a favorite like place or like a restaurant you recommend in Greenville? I mean, my family used to live there, so I've obviously been there a couple of times. But do you have something you recommend everybody?
I mean, you can't go wrong with Sup Dogs. I mean, you can't go wrong with Sup Dogs. But the new place that we have here in Greenville, 252 Hot Chicken, is off the chain. So that's probably one of my favorite spots, just around here in Greenville, because I mean, being from the South, I love some hot chicken, and you can't make it wrong. Give me some chicken and waffles, and I'll be good. So.
I heard about 252 Chicken. I think very recently. I'm not sure if it just opened up in Greenville or something like that.
You probably did, yeah. It opened up sometime this spring, so you probably did
Really?
just hear about it, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I got to give that a try then next time we go up to Greenville. So 252 Chicken. I got you, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome. But so you got all right. You already got your food here. You got your you kind of understand the area a lot more. Obviously, you got the whole fan base behind you. So with all that, and now I know y'all been working very hard last few weeks, get back into shape and get to know the guys, and just feeling confident because, I mean, at the end of the day, the record is 0-0 right now. So you start right back to where you want to be, and going on to that. What are do you have specific expectations for yourself and for the team going into year 2?
Just for myself, I would say just be a better me than I was last year. Certain things that I need to work on personally, which I know, me and Coach Houston talk about it, and those are things that I probably keep separate, like private, but just things that like personally I know I need to work on. Sometimes it's not even like in the actual game, and sometimes it's just on the sideline or just in the locker room, or just how I react to stuff and things like that. But like goals, like yards and stuff, I don't have any predictions. I feel as though if I try to predict or try to like strive for a certain number, then it's only gonna make me think about it more. So I kind of just have a goal of every ball that comes to me, I'm gonna catch. So
right.
But as a team, I mean, obviously go undefeated, which I feel like I'm not just saying that, I feel like we can actually do. And then win the conference and make a playoff spot. That would probably be one of the best things that's happened in Power history in a minute. So just making history like that, and it was just going to be one of those special moments that you will never forget, so.
Right, and the CFP made that a little bit easier, I believe, this year. Now it's the 12 team floor out. Yeah, yep. Right.
So whoever wins the American gets a automatic guaranteed spot in the playoffs. So.
Right, and I feel like now that we've gotten there, I know there's a lot of teams that joined the conference last year. I feel like now that you kind of get to know those schools a lot more in conference play, you kind of get that experience and that expectation out of them, which you're get to know from them for next season as well. So I want to hit you something last but not least, just a personal question. I'm an athlete myself, and there's a lot of young athletes out there. So if you could give advice to young athletes about the grind, about playing, about just working out and everything, and kind of saying mentally prepared, what would it be?
The main thing would be just like I said earlier, what my dad told me. At the end of the day, it's not about being the best, it's just about giving your best. So, I mean, every day, if you know you're giving your best and you're giving your best those are things that are gonna transpire to the next day, and it's just only gonna build you. So those are things that I would say, like, keep your head down, just go to work, and never question the work, because it's gonna show. You know, whoever's outside and they're not doing anything, or they're just laying on their butts, or just at home not putting in the work, is gonna show. You can't get away from it. You can't hide from it. So that's what I love about this game, because you can't hide from it. You can't hide from the work. When you get out there, it's gonna show. So just keep working out, keep your head down, and just keep working.
All right. Well, with that being said, man, Chase, thank you so much for joining us today. I'd love to have you on again alongside more Pirates and whatnot. It was really nice having you here, man. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Everybody, if you want to go follow Chase and go check him out at Sowell_Chase on Instagram, and his Twitter/X at Sowell Chase. Check us out at CarolinaCast Sports on everything else. And yeah, once again, man, Chase, I wish you guys the best going in to year 2 of your season or your career here with the Pirates. Kind of hoping y'all get back together and the work keeps going in. Everybody stays healthy, and just really excited for this season. I'd love to have you on again in the near future as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I appreciate you. And I appreciate Pirate Nation always.
Go Pirates, man. Yeah, yes sir. All right. Well, thank you all once again. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you're watching, you can like this and follow us out anywhere on the road to 2,000 subscribers. But that's going to end this interview. I'm Chris Sherma alongside Chase Sowell. And for the rest of the crew, we say so long. We'll see y'all in our next episode.
Thank you.